Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Ah, hello, hello, hello. Ooh, we have someone here already. Good evening, Antonia. How the devil are you? Rock on with fire. Yes, I actually filmed 2 videos today where I didn't do that at the end of, but more of that later. It's yes, certain places you don't throw the devil horns, and well, you might get thrown out if you do. If there was anyone there, it's a respect thing. So, how is everybody? I hope everyone's had a good week and all is well, healthy, and safe. Smoke them if you got them. Crack a brewski if you do. I don't. So, what has the Sharpe been up to this week? Unsurprisingly, not a lot. But I've upset some people. I've sold some fish. I've changed some water. I've sworn a fair bit. I've slept. I've had wind. Pretty much normal week for me. Good evening, Marit, my dear. How are you, my darling? Hope you are well and safe and happy, and your shiny new fishies doing well. So yes, I've not really done much. Yay! Happy Marit is good. So if let's start through the week. Well, last Sunday my back gave out, so water changes were fun Monday and Tuesday. Trapped nerve, sciatica type thing going on. So yeah, that made carting around buckets of water and bending over and stuff like that real fun. But I got all that done. No new bristly noses born this week, thankfully. We do have some more baby shelly dwellies, so another half dozen of those in the tank. The subocellatus cribs are getting rather jiggy with it and trying to figure out the perfect cave. They're in a tank with some bristle noses, so yeah, it's me. There's bristle noses in there, so there's lots of cavey type places for the cribs to use. But Missy Crib has been well coloured up for a good few days now, so hopefully we should get some of those fairly soon. Today I sold a bunch more fish and shrimp. 10 more each of the super red and the longfin super reds, 75 bristle noses and 20 shrimp. Pardon me. I suppose really the biggest news this week is Mary's daughter Nadine got her new bunny yesterday. So I've not met yet, obviously, but once I do meet Latte, which is her name, then I will at least film a short. She's a very cute pedigree dwarf lop. Hey, you Austin? Yep, I'm all good, thank you very much. Back is on the mend. Hair is bad. Teeth are bad. Yeah, usual. Yeah, I really do need to get this mop chopped. Yes, very cute little ball of fluff. I do have pickies, so I'll send you a picky later if I remember. Hair everywhere. But yeah, she's settling in well so far. She's very well behaved and not scared or zooming about like a lunatic. So yeah. What did I do? Yeah, so while I was out one day this week, I got some more hay because they always need hay. Because Nadine decided to buy basically a mansion of a bunny hutch, 2 stories of rooms, and took a large bale of hay, 18-litre bag of hay, and another half of the second one to put hay down on the floor for it. So yeah, so that it's nice to have something to use my dandelions for again. If the neighbours go, "Hey, you got dandelions growing?" Yes, they're for the rabbits. Oh yeah, definitely got wins today, haven't I? And today we went to see East Harling Church. I'm going to need more than one rabbit. I think I'm going to need a herd of goats. Maybe a few sheep might make a dent. Um, Good evening, Bob. How the devil are you, sir? So yes, so we have new bunny. Yeah, we managed to get the exterior and the interior videos done on the church at East Harling, another 1,000-plus-year-old church. Well, the current church isn't 1,000-year-old. That's only currently the church is there at the moment is only like 700 years old. But there was a church on the site previous to the Doomsday Book, so at least 1,000 years. And as a usual case around here, it's probably been a religious site since pagan times, especially as it's sat right by the river in what used to be a wood. So, yeah, and that's a very pretty, if a bit overdone for my taste, church. Lots of knights and tombs inside. So it was an interesting one. Yeah. The only other thing I did this week was upset people. And that was in a local churches group. Yes, where people visit local churches and take photographs and tell the history. And I posted asking, very politely, very carefully worded, does anyone know of any sort of local churches that might be haunted or have such stories attached to them? And the vitriol I got given. And I've got screenshots of the posts because I've learned to do that in Facebook land. Because these things have a habit of coming back, and you can then present the original evidence. Go, no, you're the arse, not me. Yes, that was enough for them to go off. There was, I think some of them thought I was going to go there in the middle of the night and start drawing pentagrams on the walls and doing blood sacrifices in the font or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm going to walk around in the middle of the day waving a camera about, going, this is the history of the church and these are the stories attached to it. But yeah, there was lots of, oh, the church will never allow you to do this. And no, they do. The church actually encourages it because it gets more people to visit. Hello, Jess, my dear. Again, I apologise for missing it on Friday, but I lay down for a nap at about 2:45 UK time. You normally come on at 3, so I thought I can have a nap and then I can watch Jess. 5:15 when I woke up. I was like, oh, okay, so I've been asleep for nearly 3 hours. Oh well. So yes, I do apologise. Yes, I missed you. And evening, Brennan. How you diddling? Good to see peeps here, and thank you very much for sharing it out, Bobster. Naps are just a gift. When you're a small child, you hate naps. Naps are a punishment. The older you get, the more you enjoy a nap. Not being able to have a nap is the punishment. And Mr. News is here. Evening. And 12:11 p.m. So Patrick's 6 hours behind. Evening, Patrick. Last night you missed a stream as well. Yes, it happens. But hey, there are those of us who are just getting to that age where we need a nap. We need a nap. It just has to be done. It's not like, well, if we hold off the nap now, we'll be right. We'll go later, or we'll just go to bed at a normal time. We'll be fine. No, you'll be overtired by then, and you'll have a crappy night's sleep. Sleep when you can, people. That's my advice. If the body is telling you it wants to sleep, sleep if you can. Yeah, anyone who has sleeping difficulties will know that. And if you've never had problems with sleep, you're very lucky. I was going to insult you, but the last time I insulted someone, I got a Facebook badge. So, evening, Scully. What is sleep? Yeah, it's that thing that sometimes happens, Patrick. I'm better than I used to be. I used to really struggle. I'm doing the old flexes. Yeah, nothing there anymore. It's because I've not done a physical job for years. Sleep is the bit where you miss time. Yeah, but even if you don't manage to sleep, just literally laying down with your eyes shut helps. It's not great, but it's better than not doing anything. Calm down, Shelleys. Or are you trying to have more babies? Yeah, literally just to lay down with your eyes shut, or just sit on the couch and just rest in your eyes. Yeah, it'll stop you being a bit quite as cranky. And then obviously caffeine in copious quantities afterwards. And yes, I do have black circles around my eyes. So, yeah. So, in recap, Nadine got a new bunny. I sold a bunch of fish. I upset people in a photographic group. And we got more baby Shelleys. That's pretty much the week. I don't think I've upset anyone else. No, I haven't. There's not even really been anything funny happen to me this week. Oh, yay, man, dug out the tanks again. Very proud. I'm proud of you too. Look forward to seeing reflections and obviously pretty fishies. Your lovely new Plecky Lex and your ricey fishies. Did you get anything else while you were at the fish auction? Was it the lemon blue eyes you got, wasn't it? And Super Edge you were after? Trying to remember. Well, yeah, it's a toss-up, which is nicer to see. The reflection of a marrot or a fish. Hmm. Hmm. I'd have to think about that one a bit. You got your lemon blue eyes. Yay. Well, hopefully mine start breeding soon. Going to P-Land as the show in a bit. Live music and refreshments. Excited and as pretty as I can. Live music's always good. Especially if it's the kind of place where you can leave as well if you don't like it. Yeah, and I'm not going to go there. No. If I don't go there with that joke, people aren't going to. Yeah. I got a reptile for Marriott. I got a snake she can have. Yeah, we had to get that one in because if I didn't, people would think I was slipping. If I didn't make the pervy joke, people would think I was ill. It's just the way it is. So, what did we do this week for videos? Videos. Try to remember back. What was Monday's video? Was that the pond this week? I think it was, wasn't it? I think it was the pond video this week. Then whatever the short was. I haven't looked to see how many views that had. There's a I'm too sexy for my tank. That was the one I did. And Friday was I did a reading of Nyarlathotep by H.P. Lovecraft. I mean, it's not because I didn't have anything else recorded, honest. It's not like I sat there going, oh crap, I've got to put a video up today. I haven't got anything. Oh bugger. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Audiobook. Yeah, let's find a really short story and just read it. Reptile, not withered mushroom. Thank you, Bob. I mean, at least you didn't go with fly lava. Hey, it's not what you got, it's what you do with it that counts. Any more on the old type platies? Doing much better. The old Sunshine Variatus platies, wasn't it? You were after, Patrick? Bob is just inferring that I have small genitalia, Marriott. That's okay. I'll get him back. Don't you worry. Although that might be Bob getting me back for something. I don't know. I can never remember what jokes I've pulled on people. Yeah, don't go saying shots fired when we're talking about knob gags. Of course I remember. I love platies. I just don't have any. Because the last time I had platies, I ended up with bloody hundreds of them. Well, actually, no. The last time I had platies, they all got eaten. They all got eaten by a certain Mr. Spazzy Boy, along with all the guppies and all the swordtails and all the large shrimp. Just like the cribs. Yes, exactly. Just like the cribby cribs. Yes. That's why I at least went for, with these cribs, I went for a different flavour than the one that is always in the shop, standard. Uh, Standard. Oh, what is a standard crib? Pelvic acromis. Something something. It's not the Taniatus, is it? Uh, oh God, I can't remember what the Latin name for a standard cribensis is. But yeah, so that's why I went with the subocellatus, and they appear to be taking their sweet time. Now, so at least the fish store won't have tanks full of them if I get babies and I want to sell them. Pelvic acromis pulcher, that's it. Thank you very much, Bob. Yeah, so I went for the subocellatus. I think they sometimes get called the yellow-faced crib, which is a bit of an understatement. Because when the females have got their breeding plumage on, the dorsal fin goes like super reflective. They got a bit of the patterning at the back end of the dorsal fin, like the leopard spots, and the tail. But then the body, you get the pink, not just the pink belly in the middle, the entire middle of the body goes pink. Black stripes front and back, and then the yellow face. That is stunning. She's a very pretty little fishy, and she knows it. But yeah, 2 turns to 50 turns to boatloads. Oh, I get the having flashbacks of fish you used to keep as a child. I mean, I didn't keep fish as a child. I had a goldfish in a bowl. Um, which is standard comic goldfish. No, the ones that have that every 2 weeks you get a new one. Um, because it's in a bowl with no filter and you don't use any dechlorinator. And when the water goes green, you just pour the water out, pour more water in the bowl, and put the fish back in. Yeah, how it used to be in the early 80s. Um, Good evening, milady. How the devil art thou? There was none of your special medias, or if you were posh, you might have had an old box filter in there. You certainly wouldn't have even heard of canisters or hang-on backs. I mean, under gravel filters were like the height of technology, I think. One is vaguely human, milady. It's about the best I ever get. Vaguely human and partly humane. But hey, oh yes, and breaking news with the sales from today on the fishies, I will have 2 empty tanks. Sounds good, doesn't it? Yes, 2 empty tanks I can do things with. I've got 2 batches of bristlenose fry. And I'm going to have to thin out the herd of the shell dwellers at some point. I have no idea what the general stocking density should be for a 15-gallon, but I've got about a dozen adults and about 20 fry in there at the moment in various different stages. So before they start killing each other. Um, But yeah, so I think the biggest shock I had of the week was that reaction to the post I put up on that local churches group. It's not even a religious group. It's a group of people who go around and take pictures of the churches in Norfolk. And the reaction to asking if they were haunted just blew my mind. I say yes, they won't be empty long, Lady Di. There's the 150 bristle noses that are in there at the moment will go down there. That one is empty, and that one now only has 30 super red bristle noses in it. So we should be able to clear those out fairly soon. I might just get rid of the ram's horns at some point because, well, they don't exactly sell well, let's be honest. And they breed far more rapidly than they sell. So if there's any Brits here and they want some pink and blue ram's horns, just let me know and I'll send you some. And I promise I'll try to get the trumpet snails out. Yeah, snails. No, actually, no. Last time I sent you something, Mary, it took nearly 2 weeks before you got it. So you don't want to be opening that pot, do you? The 15 gallon. Well, the 15 gallon because it's the what used to be the big Fluval Flex Bob. We generally work in litres, so 20 litre or 10 litre, 20, 40, 60, 90, 125, 200, and then, yeah, whatever. So, I mean, that's 200 litre, which is 50 gallon, 50 US gallon anyway, 50 and a bit. Something. I think it's something like 55 gallon in total. Yeah, so I've got the two 15-gallon flexes and the 9-gallon flex, and they're just really good tanks. Can't fault them. I've had one nearly 4 years. My first tank. The light still works, the pump still works, the tank don't leak, nothing's broken or fallen off. And admittedly, some of the plants have gone a bit crazy, but that's not the tank. That's what happens when you breed bristle noses in a 15-gallon planted tank. There's a lot of fertilizer. And that's the reason why these aren't full of algae, is because they've got bristle noses or snails in them. That one at the top is rather cloudy at the moment, but we'll sort that out tomorrow. Oh, Merritt's going fishy shopping again. Well, I should be about all day tomorrow, so if you want to go fishy shopping, feel free to take me with you. I think I'm about all day. I might have to pop out and get some Coke, but that's about it. Coca-Cola, not the other type of Coke. Yeah, I've got a bottle and a half. I should be okay. There's always worse things to see. Yeah. Sorry, brain fart. It's an age thing. I'm going to have to figure out how to do this so I can get co-hosts and things. Something to fill in when I fall asleep. Auction was bad just for you, or for the fish that were there weren't great, or was it you just having panicky attackies? And lady died. Blue dreams or blue shrimps. Um, I have a tank of blue shrimps. For some reason, they don't take off, as it were, or they aren't for me. I mean, they're breeding, but it's not in large numbers. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. It does seem to me that when I have an accidental shrimp colony in a tank that's not supposed to have shrimp in it, it tends to do a lot better than when I have an actual purpose-made shrimp colony. Whether it's whatever fish are in there are picking off the weaker shrimp and only the strong ones survive, and then you get better genes, and I don't know. As I pulled the 20 shrimp out of the accidental shrimp colony this morning, you can't tell I've taken 20 shrimp out of there. If I took 20 out of either of the actual colonies at the moment, you would know. It would be obvious. But hey. And someone who used to breed expensive plecos decides to sell them in bags of 7 to 15, gets mad when he doesn't get what he wants. Yeah. That's the thing with auctions. You take the risk by selling anything at auction. I mean, you could take the world's most expensive fish to an auction, but if there's only one person that wants them, yeah. So yeah, you could turn up at an auction and here is this koi carp worth $30,000. Give you a fiver. No other bids? Sold. Yeah, it's not worth that much. It's worth a fiver. We just found that out. Yeah, it might just be mine, Lady Diana. They're just taking their sweet time at getting going. Might also be that I did have Vorticella in that tank, which did wipe quite a few out, and they're just getting going again. Might be there's just not many females in there. Evening, Danny boy. Driving to get one on the human fryer, but got the stream on in the car. Exactly, Bob. You shouldn't expect a profit at an auction. It's a buyer's market. Yeah. You go to auctions to get things cheaper than you'd get them in the store, or to find things that you wouldn't find in the store, which you would have to special order and then they cost more. Yeah, if you want to make money off of it, you don't sell at auction unless it's things that you know you can make money off of. Things that everyone wants or needs. Brittle noses, shrimp. Don't take crebensis or guppies to an auction unless you've got a bunch of weirdos who are willing to pay more than 20p for a guppy. Second hand, well, not second hand, but yeah. Yeah. I still laugh at that every time I see it. Really? You want that much for those? You're aware they're like $3 at the shop, right? Oh, they're the posh ones. Oh, so yeah, they're the ones that die really easily, don't breed very well. have a lot of genetic problems, and you want more for them. Good luck with that. Guppies sell like you want, but yeah, this is the weird thing. I mean, now, I don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against guppies and live bearers in general. It's the whole. This one is a slightly different color. It is more expensive. You mean it's a mutant? You have a genetic mutant. Yeah. Oh no, what's the matter, Lady Diane? What's going wrong with your platelets? This is something I know and I can help with. And I don't wish to sound rude, but we all know how much waste plecos produce. Wasting, oh gold. Chuck a chunk of courgette or zucchini in there and a whole handful of algae wafers and some pellets and some flake. Just anything you want to get the nitrates up. Weird, I know, but because they want to be grazing on things, you need enough gunk in there for the things they want to graze on to live on, because they pretty much eat 24/7. Done that and they're not eating. Oh dear. Have you had any bacteria blooms in the tank? Bacteria bloom like that one is at the moment. Yeah, could be an internal parasite. I've not really had. The only times I've really had plecos die off is my dumb fault. It's I forgot to feed them, or when I had them in a tub under the stairs and not noticed that the water has gone bad. That one of the filter's blocked up and the ammonia has just gone off the scale. Or as I had in the bottom tank last year, where the heater stuck on and boiled a hot, and it weren't that many, it was only about 30 odd, but yeah, boiled an entire batch of pleco soup. But yeah, big water changes will help. Temperature as well, sometimes up in the temperature can get them to feed more. If the water's a bit cool, they might stop feeding. They can usually take a fair bit of abuse. How old are they? Normally once it past a couple of weeks, they can go a little bit without food. That's not a problem. Yeah, new tank complex. Yes, so it's because they want to be grazing on things. So yeah, if you've got any algae covered rocks or wood in established tanks that you can take out and put in the fry tank. Wasting guppy's got Epistylus. Yeah. And as it's all you've done your anti-parasites, yeah, I would say if you've got some rocks and wood in established tanks, to pop them in and see if they graze on that. Anything that's covered in algae, basically. He says, looking around and then going, oh yeah, I've got a bunch of plex in all my tanks. Not much algae on anything, except for the tanks that don't have plex in. We do have some 50% water change daily. So if we see that kind of reddish browny looking rock is actually the same colour rock as all the rest of them down there. There's just algae on it. So yeah, well, I mean, anything out of an established tank will do them well. Even if it's something like an Anubius. I mean, heck, there's even algae growing on the filter. Thank you very much, Patrick. It's only a little 50-gallon fluval. Oh, yeah. Baby plecos. We're not going to show them because, yeah, just a couple of basically tree stumps in there. Oh. I know Bert and Ernie always want to show off with the camera. And the big fat platinum mollies. And somewhere down there, just poking his head out from under the wood, is one of the Nanacaras. And there's one just poking her head out of the top of the coconut hut. So if we have Nanacaras in a coconut hut, we know what that means, hopefully. Hopefully it means there are baby Caras in there. So yeah, then we've got the Shelly Dwellies. I don't have any of my own stickers now. It's not something I'm organised enough to get around to doing. As you can see, we've got some of the babies down the front, but they're older. And the shells that are down behind this rock are where the tiny ones are. You can just about see a couple. Yep. There's hopefully some heggies inside that coconut hut. Because baby Nanacara would be very nice. Currently treating with Maricin. Hornwort, moss covered wood from established tank, feeding Rapashi every other day. Not trying to teach you how to suck eggs, but have you done water tests? That's 50 so far. Ooh. I would probably say if you've got one of the bottled bacterias, other brands are available. This is not sponsored by Fluval. Just as an example, a big dose will help. I know the people go, oh, bottled bacteria doesn't work, or oh, it's got to be this. He's trying to get all the microflora and microfauna going is what the issue could well be. It might be something like that. I'm really not sure. So I mean, I'm asking dumb questions, but yeah, I'm definitely very sorry for your loss because X-platelets are not what anyone wants. Generally, I find the murkier the tank is, the better they do. Yeah, it could also be they're not liking the strong meds. Yeah, that could be it. I'm trying to think as yeah, malm on the bottom of the tank. They were dying before you put the meds in, so it's not that. So they're basically not eating. So yeah, I'd say try all the different foods as you are doing. Let the water get murky, and well, not the water. Let the tank get mucky. Let the poop build up on the bottom. Let the mold happen. Get some snails in there as well. I know they eat the same things, but if the snails are doing well, the plecos normally do well. No malm. Yeah, that could be it, because the stuff that the plecos graze naturally when they haven't got access to food is what grows from the malm. So, I mean, if we disentangle power cords and stuff and such and the like, and oh yeah, we are all wrapped around everything again. Excuse the views. So here we have the Super Reds bare bottom tank, and yes, you can see the malm on the bottom, the thick muck. That one's empty and it's still got malm in it. That way. There we go. Snail tank, malmy. The malm is all down the back of that tank. And there's not a lot in there because there's 150 bristlenoses in there that are nearly an inch long. They've eaten it all. And again, more malm. Massive bacteria bloom, but lots of malm. And how do I know it's a bacteria bloom in there and not an ammonia spike? They're feeding on the courgette. They're not all up at the top. Yes, the malm is good. The muck and the mire that people keep trying to get out of their tank is actually good for the tank. It's packed with all the foods, the bacterias, the microflora, the microfauna, all the microorganisms and everything that basically supports the life in the tank, to be honest. There's a lot made about cycling a filter, but cycling a tank is a lot more than just it turns ammonia into nitrate. It's a surprise breeding, sold a lot that were fine. It's a grow out tank. Yeah, so I don't normally have too many issues. Have we tried things like the ONIP tabs, those kind of things? Just drop a couple of those in, because even if they don't eat it, it breaks down and then the biolife starts eating that. But yeah, I'd say if you can get some gunk and muck from other tanks and throw in there. Next time we do the water change, clean out another couple of filters into the water before you put it into the tank. So you're putting dirty water in. If you've got malm on the bottom of other fry tanks, grab a handy dandy turkey baster. Yeah, people do rarely consider viruses, but they're very common. Well, most of the things we get are viruses, to be honest, as well. So the common cold is a virus. Flu is a virus. Most stomach bugs are viruses. Yeah, so it could literally be they've got a stomach bug, but because they're in the tank. Yeah, sponge filters are great. They love sponge filters rather than air stone. I mean, an air stone is an air stone, but a sponge filter is an air stone with an attached feeding surface, basically. But plecos can breathe atmospheric air, so it's not likely that they will cark it from lack of oxygen in the water. But yeah, I suppose the meds might drop the oxygen levels super low. Yeah, it's never good, Lady Di. Although weirdly, and I might get some heat for this, might be an idea to leave the dead ones in. I mean, if let's say we rule out diseases or bacteria and viruses, plecos need protein. Then there is no better source of protein for a fish than fish protein. And also with that, they're only small bodies, and they'll break down, and again, all the microfauna and flora and bacteria will feed on that and multiply. And yeah, I mean, I can guarantee if I put 150 plex in there, which I did because I counted them, there ain't 150 in there now. There might be 120, 130. I've not seen a body, which means they've all been eaten if they've died. The same that one down here, I emptied it out today. I put 100 in there. I got 75 out. So yes, 25 have either hidden spectacularly well, or they've died and been eaten, broken down, and fed the rest of the tank. That's, oh, excuse me, it's got to start. Put the kitchen light on, otherwise I'm going to be in the dark. Ugh. I know a lot of these things kind of seem contradictory. That 3 guppies and 2 pleclets today. Yeah, I mean, plecos will get epistylus, so if they've got that as well as the guppies. And with, I say, pleclets are spotty, so it's a lot harder to spot things like epistylus on a spotty fish. Yeah. I mean, I'd say overall, the culture are doing great. No, the culture are feeding on the yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people worry too much about keeping tanks clean, or what we see as clean. What we see as dirt is actually good for the tank long term. I'm not advocating your tank being absolute blah, like my pond is, but puzzle. Now day 3, tank was filthy. Yeah. So they were feeding. Yeah. See, I don't want to say anything that's going to then add to the problem or exacerbate the losses. But yeah, lysine does sound a good idea, just in case it is a virus in there as well. A lot of times, fish will show one disease. Usually, it's ick. Let's be honest. But the reason they've got that is because something else is wrong that's left them weak, or left their immune system is fighting something, then something else comes along and they can't deal with it. I think Corey was talking about that once. You've only got 10 pleclets in there. Yeah, you could just have a generation where they've all got a problem, I suppose. It was like you said, fish can cope with one or two stress factors. So, you know, bad water, too much light, noise, whatever, something viral or bacterial in the tank. But if you add the extra stress factor, then it all kicks into overdrive. Where no, it's like us. We can be absolutely fine, and we can get a slight cold. Yeah, we feel a bit rough. Doesn't really affect us that much. We just carry on as normal. But if you're stressed out and tired, run down, and you then catch that cold, it's going to knock you for six. It's going to put you flat on your back, and that's how I equate the different stress types and how things build up. I'm not saying that's what's happened here. 10 in the tank, they're born in there over 2 inches. Dang. I forget the last time I sold a 2 inch long bristle nose. It's wasted away. Yeah, I'm inclined. I would be inclined to take them out of that tank and put them in another one. To be honest. Um, yeah. I'll say yeah, exactly. For it to only hit one tank. Uh, you don't want to spread anything. Hmm. I'm assuming you've got a heater and a filter in there. Are you sure there's no electric in the water? As perhaps if you've got uh, bad use of words, electric leaking into the water, that can do it. But you'd get a belt the second you put your hand in there and earth yourself. Um, yeah, yes, I've been electrocuted many a time. It's not fun. Yeah, so I would say yeah, probably got a virus of some description. And you know, so the guppies have got epistylus. So I'm wondering if the plex have got something, but then you're treating for epistylus, whether the combination of what they've got and the medication for the other condition is enough, as it were, to. Because if they got a virus and you're treating them with and they're feeling rough because they got a virus, and then you give them an antibiotic, again, it's that extra level of stress on the system. But pass. I'm afraid I'm pretty much out of answers, lady. As I say, Bob's far more versed in actual fish diseases than me. I mean, literally the only two I've ever had to deal with have been columnaris and camellanus worms. I've not had any of the things like ick or epistylus or hole in the head or other things like that. So I'm going to take that, put it in the tub and use the lysine. It can't hurt at this point. Because, I mean, if it is something in that tank that's causing the problem, we're taking them out of that tank. You're taking that source away. So if you can just set up a bucket or a tub for them. And yeah, sometimes this hobby just sucks. Because it's not like with a cat or a dog. You take it to the vet, and the vet will run blood tests and all sorts and figure out what's wrong with them. You take a fish into a vet, they're gonna. Most vets, let's be honest, probably just tell you to hit it over the head and flush it, or Um, yeah, virus is often superimposed on bacterial infections. So yeah, it's so everything adding up on top of each other rather than one particular thing. Oh yeah, I've definitely got and I know there's not many people here, but to the entire fish fam for being awesome people. The amount of other hobbies that I've taken part in where you just wouldn't get the help. You'd either be called an idiot noob or laughed at. Whereas Fish Fam, everyone is happy to either share information, brainstorm, try and figure things out, help each other. Um, it's I say everyone. There's always the odd exception, but hey, most of us, 99% of Fish Fam is all helpful, friendly, and that's where I learnt what I know about fish. With mentioning me having a clap. Yeah, well, we know how low your fruit's going to hang, Bob. Judging by how much my fruit has dropped over the years from where it used to be. Bob sits down, it looks like he's on a space hopper. Um, it's only Lent, Bob. It's only Lent. Yeah, it's honestly, I think I'm actually quite glad that we can't get the strong medication in the UK. Yes, we might lose more fish because we can't get the strong medications. So if we get one of the nastier diseases, it's more likely to run rampant. But you then don't get the other issue with the strong medication being bad for the fish. It's like with us, most of the medicines we take are actually toxic. They all have side effects. They didn't have side effects, they're not toxic. You know, oh, someone else has got babies. Sweet. Mm, yeah, that's pretty much it. Medicines are poisons. That's why they work. because they kill whatever's causing the problem. Or one of the side effects of that poison is what you want to do the good thing. All the guppies went through salt bath. They survived are doing okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not going to complain that someone's fry tank is overstocked. Oh, come on. Who else has 150 plecos in a 6 gallon tank? You know. I get told off by the fish police regularly for daring to have 2 bristle noses in a 15 gallon, because apparently a 20 gallon is big enough for one. You can't have more. Yeah, well, they're breeding in there, so they must be happy. It's a 20. You're understocked. You're understocked, Lady Di. And thank you very much, Bob, for a very fruity super chat there with melons and nanas and tomatoes. Yeah, I must admit, the sight of melons makes me want to peel a banana. Tomatoes, though, very closely related to deadly nightshade. As are potatoes, they're all the same family. And all three are actually toxic. Well, one of them, will kill you. One of them will just make you throw your guts up. And the other one is potatoes. No, I don't like tomatoes. Nasty things. Only thing they're any good for is sauces, like ketchup, where you add so much vinegar and salt to them that you can't taste the tomato anymore. Right. Now, I'm old and certain things have to be done, so I shall be back in bottom jiffy. Well, a couple of minutes, depends how long it takes me to stand up and get up and down the stairs again. Oh dear, oh, back, ow. Right, that's better. Oh, you're not overtaking the chat. You're giving us something to talk about, something to think about, and exercise the old brain. It keeps me from talking about random weirdness for another 20 minutes or so. Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Lady Di, for the awesomely huge super chat. Mwah. Nice to actually talk about fish for once. Yeah. So, yeah, feel free to talk about fish in my streams. It's okay. I know I talk about all sorts of weird stuff, but if we got fishy stuff to talk about, we can talk about fishy stuff. That's fine. And I just realised how absolutely on the heart everything is. Yeah, that's what happens when you use the bar stool that you sit your laptop on top of to support the bucket full of water, because you can't bend over for doing water changes. Human fried back at the ranch, all the bits are there, so that's all good. Yeah, always a bonus when that happens, Dan. Talk about everything under the sun. That we do. I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert in anything, but I've got a bit of knowledge on most subjects. I can I can hold a conversation on most things. Obviously, we will still try and steer clear of politics and religion because YouTube guidelines are just bloody common sense. Actually, what have I been watching a lot of this week? Other than entitled idiots and sorry, but dumb American videos. Well, it's usually Americans reacting to dumb Americans videos, which is even funnier. Um, Naval history, um, audiobooks. Can't hold a conversation on the bar stool because it goes wonky. Exactly. I mean, the thing is, this poor old bar stool is the one I used to use to clamber up into the loft with. I just noticed half the screws have fallen out of it as well, so it's probably about time it went in the bin. I mean, let's be honest. I think it's from the 1970s. I mean, look at that pattern of yeah, that is a definite 1970s MFI or Schreiber bar stool. Yeah. Before IKEA, we had MFI and Schreiber in the UK. Um, yeah, I don't think Dan's old enough to remember them. That might even predate that. New stuff fall apart. It was as that it does. It's really badly made. And collaboration of curiosities is it? Hello, Sharpe. Hello, Adele. How you doing? I'm not going to start singing Adele songs. Don't worry. Mostly because they're crap. Actually, I think my hair's getting long enough now that the white streak is probably showing again. Yeah, just about see the white streak in my hair. Oh, after 4 a.m. getting caffeinated. Always a good idea to caffeinate at 4 a.m. Should have seen the tripod I was using earlier. Two kids' chairs on top of each other, balanced on the kids' table, box of Lego on top, and cheap Poundland phone cradle. Exactly. What people don't see don't hurt, does it? Hey? Exactly. Oh dear. Yeah. I'm I'm guessing nobody here has gone back and watched any of the model kit reviews on my channel. don't blame you, they're boring. Might send you to sleep, but that's about it. But any of the videos I did of the modelling were all overhead, so cameras up here looking down at what I'm working on or showing. And that camera mount was actually the rod rest mount on the side of my fishing seat box, angled upwards and across, with a JV Gorilla Pod wrapped around the end of the rod rest and just dragged around and angled about, and so it was right overhead. That was so Heath Robinson. But it worked because it meant I then got my seat box right beside me, which I can then put the model kit box on top of and things like that. Yeah, you watched a couple and then you fell asleep, Dan, and you woke up with your wrist slashed and you decided not to watch anymore. I wouldn't have either. And Lady Diane's Endless. The shrimp maintenance video prop, that literally was just that was the Gorilla Pod literally just hooked over the edge of this tank. I pulled the lid up, just wrapped the Gorilla Pod around the edge of the tank and aimed it downwards. Quality. I mean, I suppose if I went out and bought myself a set of GoPro accessories, then I could get the windscreen mount, which is a suction mount that will basically it suction cups the camera to the windscreen of the car, so it will work on a tank. I could have used that, but I haven't quite got around to that yet. As I was saying, the main reason I used the GoPro for that was just in case it fell off. Quite like them. I've had more time. I wouldn't mind doing a bit of modelling. This is it. Modelling takes a lot of time. Depending on experience and what you're trying to do. And I've been kind of known as a silly fast builder. The kind of build I would knock out in 2 weeks some people would take 6 months for. That kind of thing. But one of the standing jokes was you get a group of people getting together and they're going to do a speed build, or as Sharpe would call it, a build. I remember one we did. You had to build an airfix kit from scratch. It was on a live stream. This is years ago. It's not on my channel either, so you won't find it. We had to build the airfix kit of whichever it was you chose. I chose the old Angel Interceptor from Captain Scarlet. And you had 2 hours to build it, paint it, decal it, and finish the model. I took 45 minutes. Yeah, that one, everyone was like, what? How have you finished that already? What? It was easy. Not that many parts, and it's just painted white. And hey, it didn't have to look good. That was the main thing. It just had to be done. Because any of those speed builds, what happens when they're finished is the kit goes in the bin. Normally after you've smashed it with a hammer or set fire to it or something. But yeah, it's all good fun. Sticking bits of plastic together and wiping paint on them, or blowing paint at them. But yeah, it does take a lot of time. I mean, it takes as much time as you want it to take, like any hobby. Hello, Sherry. How are you, my dearie? Married Mrs. Painting as well. Painting's fun. As long as it's not painting and decorating. And when you're painting something nice, like a figure or a drawing or art, it's enjoyable. When you've got a bloody wall to paint, it's a nightmare. Even worse now because I'd either have to move all the bloody fish tanks or figure out how to paint around them. Yeah, I might have been. Part of my issue with it was from working in a paintbrush factory. So you spend all day at work with paintbrushes and rollers and stuff like that, and then you come home and you're decorating your house. Last thing you want to see after a day at work is the thing you've been working with all day. But I did it. I decorated the entire house top to bottom. It was several years ago now, but hey, the white still hasn't gone completely yellow yet, so you know, show's okay. B12 jab is due. Um, yeah, not something I'm familiar with. I've not had vitamin E injections. I just take my daily multivitamin when I remember. Anyway, some of these drinks have things like vitamins in them, don't they? There we go. That's where I get my vitamin B6 and B12 from. Yeah, vitamin B12 and energy drinks. So it's good for me. Yeah. Cool. I was thinking any health nut watching one of my streams, and it's just constant smoking, energy drinks, sitting. Now it's tired and bored. Oh dear, that's never a good sign. How can we excite you? Your MS. Ah, lots of medication. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much med free now. So just your general painkillers and anti-inflammatories for when things go crunch, pop, bang, lock solid, bored, restless. Oh dear. Is that because the Grand Prix was this morning and you've not had that to watch this evening? Um, oh, pardon me again. Yeah, that's not something I tend to get restless. I normally just stick something on and fall asleep. Or get out in the garden and chop some brambles down or something like that. Or go for a wander. Surprised I don't rattle. I think most of us have been there at some point, Sherry. I've taken more than a few pills in my time. Fell asleep at 20 laps. Yeah, I watched the highlights reel, which was like 7 minutes long, and it was pretty boring. Just watching a 7 minute highlight. So, yeah, I think about the only thing that happened was Sebastian Vettel's engine went pop. That was about the only thing. Weirdly, I can sit and watch a 6 or 8 hour endurance race. With the prototypes and the GTs and the LMP2s and 3s and all sorts. And that's far more entertaining. then there's generally a lot more cars and a lot more going on all the time. I actually watched was it last weekend, or back into last week and last weekend, and then started this week, and yeah, this week I watched this year's 12 Hours of Sebring and the 24 Hours of Daytona, and I also watched the WEC 8 Hours of Sebring. Hang my uniform up. Yeah. Man, I got up early this morning to watch the race. Yeah. Yeah. Woke up early, started watching the race, and probably fell asleep partway through it. I thought Formula One's been like that for years now. The human fry worked. Oh God, don't start texting the human fry what you were going to put in here. Oh dear. Actually, Mary did that to me earlier in the week. We were having our evening natter, and she texted me something that was meant for Adam. I was like, that don't make sense. Just to find out it's on Channel 4 this afternoon. Yep. And it was live on YouTube as well. And there's a rerun that we can guarantee will be on YouTube by now. So the touring cars used to be interesting, and then that just got boring. F1 used to be interesting, and then that got boring. And now it's endurance racing, which you think should be boring, but it isn't. Because it's not like the good old days where it was just trying to get the car to the end of the race. Yeah, I'm like Le Mans, they're basically going flat out for 24 hours. After what was it? Okay, yellow flags and stuff come into it, but I think the 24 hours of Daytona was like a few seconds from first to fourth at the end of the race. Yeah, Bob rattles, Chevy rattles, Marrett rattles. I just make groany, creaky, cracky sounds as I sleep. Yeah, lots of crunchy, cracky, grindy noises come out of my body all the time. And if I tried to see if I rattle, no one would see me jumping up and down. It caused an earthquake. Plus, I'd need to put the bra on first. But yeah, hoping to get on new meds this summer. Fingers crossed. Fingies crossed you do. But it's all to go. It'd either be a good sound or it would be the sound of death, basically, I think. If you put what's wrong with all of us together, you'd end up with a corpse. Sick and tired of anxiety. That one does suck. Depression is easier to deal with than anxiety, for sure. I mean, that might just be I'm more used to being depressed. Um, but yeah, anxiety does hit you hard. Things because you know you can do it. You've done it 1,000 times. All of a sudden, you're nervous and anxious about doing it, and you're like, "Why am I? Why is it so hard for me to just walk into this shop? Why am I standing here in the queue waiting to get to the till, shaking and sweating and having heart palpitations? I've done this a million times, probably. Well, maybe not, but I've done this thousands and thousands of times. Why am I suddenly scared of doing it?" But yeah, I just generally hope everyone gets better, or at least improves. Let's put it that way. I know there's a lot of things you can't just get rid of. Um, the only cure for some things is death. It makes you feel bad. Yeah, this things. It's the fight in my brain that I'm going across this. And I'm okay now, but when it hit last year, this time last year, pretty much, um, I was going across the road. Something I've done since I was 4 years old on my own. I was stood there waiting across the road, and I'm like getting nervous. And it's like, oh, is it safe to go? I'm like, normally I would just walk. I wouldn't even stop. I would just carry on. I'd just be like, oh yeah, nothing coming. Got new headphones in London, except you take them off and hear all the noise around you. Now you got the noise cancelling headphones. And the anxiety from heart palpitations is real. Yeah, it's then you get anxious because you're having the heart palpitations, which is being caused by you being anxious. Yeah, it's just yeah. I was glad for the medication. Let's put it that way. And I was also glad I had a friendly Marit to help me out when I needed it. Yeah, I mean, technically my headphones are noise cancelling, but that's just I just turn them up in full blast and I can't hear anything else anyway. And Alison is here. Good evening, my dear. Better late than never. I, I say it every time. I don't hold anyone to be here or a certain time or anything like that. Sherry says, lucky you don't have anxiety or depression. Yeah, but I don't have MS. So, no, it's one of these things is, again, we all have our crosses to bear, figuratively. But the things we have, we get used to and get used to dealing with. So something I've had for, well, depression, 30 years easily. I've had depression. Um, yeah, I'm just used to it. It doesn't generally bother me at all. It's like, I'm just having a bad day, or week, or month, or whatever. I might go a bit quiet, keep to myself a bit more than anything else. But I'm used to it. Same with the irritable bowel, I know how to deal with it. Whereas if something new comes along, it's like, oh, what do I do with this? So until last year, yeah, because I've not had anxiety before, not to that level anyway. And yeah, that hit me for six. Hello, Nola. Outside with nephews. Yeah, that is a that was a good enough excuse. Being outside with the kiddos is always a good thing. Wouldn't sleep in the stroller. Well, don't blame him. Doctors expect you to have depression. Yeah. Generally, my doctor don't even worry about that anymore with me. As I've said before, normally I go to the doctors and it's normally, hello, John, what have you done now? And then, what have you broken, cut, sprained, knocked yourself out? And when the doctors think you can react this or that way and you don't. Did daily COVID coverage. No, it wasn't COVID. No, I worked throughout the first year of COVID, no problems. It was my boss, I'll be honest. That's basically what it was. Well, there was no grey squizzle on the windowsill. Yeah, I sometimes get them in the back garden if I'm lucky. I usually stay over the old folks' home, but now the Floofy boy's not here. They do venture into the back garden, especially if I fill the bird feeder up. No, I mean, if anything, COVID just peed me off because I went from being out of work for months and sitting at home and basically self-isolating because, you know, out of work, you don't have a huge amount of money to spend. So you then go out and do things all the time. And then I got a job and I was like, yes, I got a job. And like 2 days later, we got put in a lockdown. And all my mates suddenly had several months off when I was working, like Billy O. It went from, you know, I was like, I want to do around about 20, maybe 30 hours a week to, oh, right, yeah, okay. You want me to do 12 days in a row without a day off? Right. Well, it's a good job I can't do anything. Yeah, we're talking about all the ways to hide the body. Yeah. Yeah, Dan saved a squirrel when he was a young. As soon as it was fully healthy, it went nuts and ripped up the front room. Yeah. I remember being on holiday at Centre Parks one year with, let's go with niece and nephew, because that's the easiest way to explain it. And we're feeding the ducks. Because our local Centre Parks, the ducks will come right up to you and right up onto the patio outside the lodge. So you can just, or cabin, I suppose is a more accurate term. And you know, you're hand feeding the ducks. You're not throwing the bread and they come and get it. You're literally hand feeding it. And niece was like scared of getting bitten by the ducks. So like as soon as they got near, she'd drop it. But then she wanted to hand feed the squirrels. I'm like, you do realise that squirrels have got big vicious teeth. But if being nibbled by a duck scares you, you don't want to be bitten by a squirrel. Yeah, exactly. Trying to help it down, so he poked it, make it move, and it bit the straw in half. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so she wanted to give the squirrel the bread to hand feed it and then stroke it, but wouldn't go near the duck. I'm like, no, you're not hand feeding the squirrel. I'm not going to hand feed the squirrel because I've been bitten by hamsters, and a squirrel is just a big hamster. You know, try to drive it down with flapjack and maybe simply jump on your head. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Mario. It makes no sense, but squirrels are cute and fluffy. No, they chew acorns and nuts up. You don't want to know what their teeth can do to your 8-year-old fingers. If she was even 8 years old back then, maybe might have been younger than that. Cute and fluffy with nasty attitude. Yeah, just like hamsters. Hamsters are psychotic little bastards. All cute and fluffy until you go to pick one up and then it. Stick with pet rats, they're far friendlier. Or bunnies. Bunnies are awesome. And if you like cute bunnies, join Save a Bunny on Facebook. It's a group run by a bunny rescue in Southern California, or in California, with lots of awesomely cute bunnies, and they don't post the nasty stuff or the videos and pictures of the nasty stuff, unlike some which will post the videos that make you feel bad. This is all just cute bunnies doing cute bunny things like binkies and wobbles and chased by geese at Windermere, pure terror. Yes, and animals have that habit of doing that to you, don't they, Dan? Especially birds. Geese, seagulls, squirrels, which, they live in trees, so it may as well be a bird. Yeah, swans are different. They're dog, herd of cows, hawk. I was on a horse at the time. Yeah, I've never been chased by a hawk. Yeah, you forgot the seagull because it gave you concussion, Dan. That's why. Um, yeah, I've been chased by dogs. Cows, not so much. Horses just hate me. Yeah, there's a sneak attack from behind. I had the same thing happen with the blooming blackbird. Now, pigeons are flying rats. Seagulls are flying terriers, basically. Maybe over the urban. Yeah, but I live in the town. And I got dive bombed by a blackbird. And Sherry isn't ever going to go in my back garden. Oh dear. Well, this time of year you might be okay. I think most of the frogs have gone now. It's just the three that are resident in the pond. One boy, one girl, and Big Frog, because she is huge. Bratty, feathery sods. Yeah. Squirrels are tree rats. Yeah, so there's a lot of spawn in that pond. So come summertime, there's going to be a lot of little froglets zipping about. I don't think there are actually any visible frogs in the video, Sherry. There was a couple of vague outlines of comets underneath the surface and a snail and a lot of frog spawn. Grey squirrels, yes, they are vermin. The grey squirrels that are wiping out the native red squirrels after some idiot decided to import them from North America. Being a little bit bigger than ours, they bullied them all out of their territories. So now you'll only find red squirrels in London, the north, and a few small places. Dan was fat, frog and toad team, great summer. Didn't get much attention from girls. No, but you know, at that age, frogs and toads are more interesting. Not until the girls get the fun bits that you're interested in them as a lad. Yeah, I had kind of been tempted to get tropical frogs in a fish tank, as it were, but it's bad enough that you know if you have a few warm days in spring and I've got the back door open and I can hear all the frogs just constant bah, bah, bah. But yeah, so we're not going to go with frogs indoors as well. Someone is missing. Someone is where I can see him, Marrett. That's the thing. Yeah, I know he's who everyone actually comes here to see. No one's here to see me. They all want to see the cat, the myth, the legend, the floof monster. Oh, cancelling. Yeah, don't let Mrs. DKFC is saying that, Dan. We'll be sleeping with the fishies. I say he was very sweet this week. I was flat out face down on the floor. Well, on the mattress, but mattress on the floor. With my back locked solid. Couldn't move. Just basically laying there going, ow, 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 please unlock, please unlock, please unlock, please unlock. And next thing, I feel the kneading, the padding of the feet on my back. Bless him. And then when I laid down to have a snooze, instead of curling up by my feet, he was curled up in the small of my back, keeping that warm for me. So yes, yeah, he just how did the cat know these things, especially a ghost cat? And as I got a video of a cat diving, I'm watching paranormal program. Yeah, the thing is, Alison, my cat is paranormal. He got buried in September 2020. Or was it 21? No, 2020. And yeah, there's no such thing as ghosts. Tell that to my bloody cat. Only freaks out next door as well. Pitchback cat in the dark. Oh yeah, he's going to make you jump. The closest that got to doing that with me was 3 in the morning, fast asleep, middle of summer, so I was sleeping downstairs again. Got the back door open to let some cool air in, and I hear a meow. Then I hear a squeak. Then I hear another meow. So I open my eyes and I look, and in the moonlight and the light from the various things that are always on, it's never truly dark. I see Zach standing there, literally that far away from me, with a rat in his mouth, and the rat's not dead. So, oh, what the hell am I going to do? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Right, what do we do? Right, we're going to have to get up because he's going to put the rat down and it's going to be running around in the house. Right. Thank you. And grab the rat by the tail, and it was dying. So grab the rat by the tail and throw it out the back door and give him lots and lots of fusses and tell him he's a good boy. Because he wasn't being bad. He was bringing me a prezi. But and I see Ant and Dec last night. I saw that a couple of times several years ago, and it was bad enough then. Yeah, that was my ex's idea of high quality entertainment for a Saturday evening. And then I got moaned at for looking on my phone and going on YouTube. Yeah, that's kittens. So, I mean, Zach only ever scratched me the once, maybe twice. Both times complete accidents. And he felt bad about it afterwards. He was like nuzzling and like, oh, sorry, Dad, sorry, I didn't mean it, honest. But Cuddles and Bacon made up for that. You see, Zach never damaged anything with his claws. He just kept forgetting where his blooming tail was. So he'd just be walking along and his tail would randomly flop around and knock a bottle of Coke over and scare himself and things like that. But you know, he wasn't one for clawing furniture or anything. Dee Dee's here. Hello, my dear. We can get started now. For the last 7 minutes. Mrs. DK for indeed laughing her head off, so I went in. She wound it back for me. Why people think they're going for a job? Yeah, if they tried that one on me, I'd probably knock the lights out. You're live on TV. Whack. Yeah. I think everyone who knows me probably knows it's not a good idea to surprise me like that. I don't do well with surprises. I tend to just go straight to angry defense mode. My fight or flight response is heavily weighted towards murder. Hit them back first is my motto. Don't give them a chance to hit you first. Yeah. I'm the kind of person where if someone did a surprise birthday party for me, I'd walk in, it'd be surprise, and I'd just turn around and walk out again. But yeah, no thanks. You obviously don't know me that well if you think I'm going to enjoy that. Marriot's laughing so hard that she scared the cat. Can he fight? Can he fly? Just need to roll with it. Exactly. Yeah. But then my reaction, if people try and make me jump surprise, like, my brain figures out what's going on, understands it way before my body decides to react to it. So by the time my body wants to go, my brain has already figured it out. Shows the face of the GP, practice flyers and posters everywhere for diabetes. Oh dear. Well, they must have decided you had a pretty face to put on posters and flyers. That's all I can say. So there we go. Cat looks at you like, what the hell are you doing? NHS famous. Oh, bless. Yeah, let's be honest. If I'm ever on a flyer anywhere, it's not going to be for a poster ad or anything like that. It's going to be stay away from. Have you seen this man? Do not approach. We boys say, jumping out to scare you. Brilliant. Gets every time. Can't adopt my response. No, he's well. At least now as a wee boy, the general is going to be straight over the top of it. It's going to be down here somewhere. Oh, right. Literally 15 seconds away from having an accident. Well, also a YouTube video somewhere. Oh, all right. So we're BBC famous. Wow. Have I been on the BBC? Probably in the background of a football game or something like that. And Griffin's here as well. Good evening, sir. How are you? Not laughing, not laughing. Just cross your legs, Marriott. You'll be fine. Or get yourself in the bathroom or the toilet already. Is that why you sometimes listen to the stream or watch the stream in the bath? So if you do wet yourself, it's not a big problem. You're determined he's not getting you next time. Every time the big girly DKF scream. And Marriott's made it to the toilet. Yay! Don't you go sending me pictures. Don't be cruel, you want to turn the towel. Oh, yeah, don't, because I kind of need to go as well now. Getting old. That's what it is. Oh, the Shelleys are arguing about whose piece of lava rock it is. No, I don't want it in my territory. Well, I don't want it in my territory. You can have it. I don't want it. No, chuck it over there. I don't want it. One watcher in the bath, one on the toilet. What's happening here? Weirder things have happened. Back at the age of stuff like that, it's funny again. Exactly. Well, it was always funny to me. I never went through a period where I found bodily functions not funny. But then that's because I've always had wind. I've always been farting or burping, whatever age I'm at. So sometimes you just got to fart in a lift just for the fun of it. You just seep it out quietly. Just some gentle seepage going on. Just work it out. Leave it a few seconds again. Can you smell popcorn? Watch everyone go. Oh, gee. Yeah, your mate slaps you around the back of the head. Yeah, been there, done that many a time. Hiatus hernia, that's my excuse mostly. No, it's just age. Aging, I've drunk one of them. There's a little bit left. And I had a pee before I started streaming. I had a pee halfway through. But yeah, I drunk 2 of these and a litre of Coke today, so. One of those ones where I need to go, and you go, and it's like, really, was that it? Not the disappointing ones where you go for a sit down and you're like, really? That wasn't even worth coming up the stairs for. Not those where you think, Yeah, I might need to go. I'll go. Badoosh! What the hell? Yeah. I think that is the one thing I've not had is a hernia. I repeated several times. Apparently, not all were intentional. Yes, it has happened. No, it's so hard. It's like a cow in a bad mood. Oh dear. I can picture that noise. Well, as long as we cheered you up a bit, anyway. But we are there at the end, I'm afraid. From Ant and Deck, the Ghost Cats, Daniel Screen, and Marek peeing. Yeah, exactly. We go all over the place, Alison. We were even talking about fish earlier. You know it's time because the night crew lights are starting to turn off. Well, those ones are. That one takes a while. So, again, thank you to everyone for turning up. Thank you for the super chats, milady and Mr. Bob. Again, go to good use. And this week's videos, I'm not entirely sure yet. It's what the fishy one will be Monday. Friday is likely to be the tour around the outside of East Harling Church. And then some random short in the middle of the week, no doubt. But anyway, thank you very much. Have fun. Stay safe. Have a good week. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Ah.